The Premier League is back. Hello YouTube, and welcome to Top Team Watch for Game Week 5. Let's get into it. At the beginning of this season, I made a prediction and I picked these 7 clubs to be the top teams of the Premier League. After each game week, we will analyze each of their games and rank their form against each other. If you want to jump into a specific game, all the timestamps are in the description below. Alright, and the first game that happened this weekend was Everton 2, Liverpool 2. Wow, there's a lot to talk about this game. Liverpool overall was the better team. Thiago, right in the middle, just controlling the ball, was able to go all through Everton's midfield and just pass to anybody who he wanted to. Basically, Robertson, Arnold, Salah, Mane, Firmino, everybody was open. The movement was way too quick. It just seemed like Everton were just walking compared to the Liverpool players. Salah and Mane were just running circles around the defense. Every single time Liverpool got the ball and attacked, it just seemed like it's going to be a goal. I mean, it started off with a goal right off the bat, and it just seemed like the defense was so stagnant, the midfield didn't know who to cover. It was just crazy. And if it continued through like this the whole entire game, this Liverpool team was going to run so many goals at Everton. And then the biggest thing happened. Pickford's tackle on Van Dijk. So many things happened in that moment that it was all over the place. The first thing, was it offsides? I guess with the new handball rule, it is offside, so I guess you just gotta give it to that. But that doesn't matter. I don't understand how that played a part into if Pickford should have gotten a red card or not. That tackle was horrendous, and Pickford should be sent off for that. And again, another rash decision by Pickford that could have cost the team the whole game. But rather than punishing Everton, what ended up happening is that Liverpool got punished. Van Dijk had to get taken out because of injury, and after hearing what happened, he's out for the rest of the season. That's crazy. After that, the game changed. In the midfield, one of the reasons why Liverpool was able to attack so much is because there was a couple times that Everton got the ball and tried to go forward, and Van Dijk just jumped in and took the ball away from James or from Allen. It just seemed like Van Dijk was playing as a CDM and just stopping every play. So it let the freedom of the midfield go up. Once Van Dijk was out, the defense just stayed back, and Fabinho needed to be more back, and it just felt like attacking they weren't so great. I know 7 minutes in, but it felt like it was different. Overall, Liverpool still seemed like the better team. And I wouldn't say that Everton got lucky. If you look at Everton, they had to create chances against the Liverpool side, and they were able to create those chances really well. They had a couple of opportunities that could have scored even more. Everton are good. Attacking wise, they still have a dangerous threat. James Rodriguez just being able to center the ball perfectly every single time is such danger. And with Calvin being the most informed striker currently in the Premier League, it's just a threat. It's still a threat. I do have to say that one of the things that you can tell is that James was leaving a big hole defensively, and Liverpool was taking advantage of that. Robertson was able to go up with so much freedom. There's so many times that the fullbacks didn't know who to cover because James, if it was the left or the right, was leaving a hole. I think later on throughout the game, he tried going back a couple times, but it's still a big hole. In a Liverpool side where everybody's attacking like that, you need to defend properly. And that's just it. Liverpool overall was the better team. You can tell that the way they control, they move around, but this game was more about the moments. The moments of the initial pick for the should have been red card, and the moments of the goals that Liverpool just aren't the same defensively without Van Dijk. Everton was able to break that down and able to score 2 goals. And with that, Everton was able to take a draw away from this game. Liverpool, the point doesn't really matter. The injury of Van Dijk is going to affect your season. Van Dijk has been one of the main reasons why Liverpool got to such a high level. Just having the best defender in the world right there stopping every single play, it's just amazing. It's going to be very interesting how they're going to cope without him. It's crazy to think Liverpool without Van Dijk and actually winning something. Even though Liverpool didn't win, they did show that they were a top team, so I'm going to rank them number 1. Everton, able to stand up, able to take a crucial point away, not just for themselves, but away from Liverpool to stay on top of the table. I have to keep Everton up there and keep them number 2. Alright, and we're jumping on to the next game. Chelsea 3, Southampton 3. It's weird, because usually a team is either all in good form or all in bad form. But this Chelsea is split up individually in the players. Half the players are showing a really good form and becoming really good players, and the other ones are actually going in a downhill direction. The first one that we have to talk about is Werner. Finally he showed up for the league, and I think the international break really helped him The 2 goals that he scored were out of this world. The first one, just able to have the composure, find his space and score, incredible. The second one, how he was able to unmuscle the defense and be aware of where Sergtino wanted to get the ball, really good. But this is the first game that he has shown that. He has to show this more, but for now, he's a very, very good striker. And there was quality in other parts of the field. Conte, Sergtino, again, controlling the midfield, Conte going up and down, intercepting every ball, and is getting better at going up and passing the ball. Sergtino, those passes, and defensively, Sergtino is improving a lot. And Pulisic is back. It's good to see him back. Last year, he finished off with one of the best seasons. I hope he gets back to where he was last year. Now let's look at the other players. The defense and the goalie. It's a repeated theme for Chelsea. A new defensive partner. I don't know if it's because Thiago Silva didn't come back properly from the international break, but now Zuma and Christensen. And Zuma, who's usually a little bit more consistent, just made a horrible mistake. And just a couple bad tackles, bad passes, giveaways when he got rid of the ball on the side. Like, he wasn't fully there. And it's not like he wasn't concentrated, just had a bad day. The goalie not good enough. Just not good enough. You give him so many chances, you put a pressure on, you're like, okay, here's your chance, and you could become number 1. And he just doesn't think. It's crazy to think he's the world's most expensive goalkeeper. But right now, he's just a number 2, and hopefully gone by the end of the season. Another player I actually want to talk about is Harvard. Werner was able to show up and deliver what he was meant to do. Harvard still needs to improve. There's so many times that he feels lost, he tried to passes that are not there, and attacking wise, he's still missing. He's still missing his quality that he was showing in the previous team. And yet, there's just a lack of consistency in Chelsea's players. There's players showing up and there's players not doing well. It's crazy all over the team. And if you look at all the top teams from this weekend, they're at least going to an upward direction. And I have to put Chelsea last this week. Yeah, they have to improve. They have to improve. So I'm going to be ranking Chelsea 7th. The next game is Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. Did you guys watch this game? It was so high-packed. It was going back and forth. Both teams had amazing chances. It was just like, wow, it could have ended any way. It's what I wish I saw. What I saw was like a really stale game. And this game, you can't fault the players. It has to go down to the managers. Both managers really know each other, and they went in there with a certain mentality. Arteta knew that they had to defend against Pep Guardiola, and that's what he did. They worked on a very defensive block. 4-4. It seemed like a 4-5-1 at times, just trying to stop the one-shot pressure. They didn't care too much if they lost possession. They tried to maintain it, but as long as Man City wasn't scoring. And Man City, on the other hand, wasn't the free-flowing, goal attack, try to score. It was more of a conservative style of just passing the ball around, making sure you don't lose the ball, and hopefully chances will appear. I mean, tactically it was quite interesting, just how all the players moved, what they needed to do, and they all did what they could. And both teams had their chances. They did. But overall, it was a very manager game. Man City was able to score one. Arsenal had a chance but couldn't take it. And that's just how the game was. There really wasn't much to talk about this game. I have to say that Arsenal's youth is what cost them. Just a lack of technique and skill to get the final pass or to score properly is what really cost them the game. And if they were a little bit better, it would have been a different game. But overall, Man City did what they needed to do. They got a clean sheet defensively that didn't feel so shaky, and it's just an improvement. It's an improvement. So it's good. It's a good tactical game. It's a good game for the managers, just not a good game for the viewers. Man City is definitely an improvement, so I'm going to give them 3rd this week. Arsenal are improving compared to the other top teams, how they have individual players making a difference. Arsenal doesn't have that yet, so I'm actually going to rank them 6th this week. The next game that happened this weekend was Newcastle 1, Manchester United 4. It was a good game for Manchester United. They were able to control this game, which is what they needed to do. And yeah, there's just a lot of positives to take out of this game. I do need to talk about Manchester United's midfield and the depth. If you look at the other positions, I think they're still missing depth in attack and defense, but the midfield, really, really good. Juan Mata going up to his old days. Fred able to control the midfield. At first, I didn't like Fred, but he's becoming a very likable player. He's becoming better and better each game. McTominay, he has a future. If Pogba becomes more consistent, Matic still showing his defensive power, and Van de Beek becoming the player that he's potentially going to be, that midfield is going to be ridiculous in the future. Manchester United had a lot of chances. And when Fernandes missed his penalty, it was like, uh-oh. There was like a feeling that maybe this wasn't going to be their day. Maybe it's going to be one of those days that they have a lot of chances and they just get a draw out of it. But the difference makers was Bruno Fernandes and Rashford. Them connecting really showed the difference. Bruno Fernandes' attacking power, the attacking midfield, really, really good. Not that he's just been able to create opportunities, but he also has that threat at finishing at the opponent's box, which is very important. And Rashford moving around every single time he got into a box, it was dangerous. So it was a good performance. Those two made the difference. At the end, when the Newcastle seemed a little bit more tired, they took advantage. They were still running on full cylinders, and that's what they needed. So overall, good performance by Manchester United. I do believe Newcastle was not up for this game. And if this was Manchester United against a much better team, I would think, yeah, really, really good performance. But it's just a solid performance that they need to do against Newcastle. They have to perform this really well against bigger teams, maybe against PSG midweek, and then we're talking about how good they're going to be. So yeah, this week I'm going to be ranking Manchester United 4th. Last game of the weekend from the top teams was Tottenham 3, West Ham 3. I'm quite confused about this game. Because if you see the Tottenham versus Manchester United, even though they were winning by a lot, they still try to keep going, they still try to score more. The ruthlessness of a top, this game, they didn't show that. So let's start from the beginning. Kane and Son showing how they're world-class players. Incredible. Again, repeating the theme. Two players that any team in the world would wish to have at this current moment. Second half started, and you know what? The game is basically done. I mean, it's West Ham. They're good, but not that good. Tottenham is just going to be able to take the foot off the pedal, just pass it around, finish the game off, easy, easy. And that's what it seemed that the players were thinking in the second half. I don't know, they weren't attacking the same, there just wasn't that threat. It just felt like, it's okay, maybe we're tired from the international break, we're just gonna pass it around. 15 minutes to go, you took out Kane, you took out Son, you know what, let's put some Lucas, let's put in Gareth Bale. Let's have something for people to talk about. And the team just relaxed and they were like, the game is done. And you can't do that. In a top team, you can't do that. You finish off when the game is done. That's it. 2 defensive mistakes. And then Tottenham are now fighting to win? Like, what? Gareth Bale gets an amazing opportunity past the whole team, and the easiest part of that was to just try to find one of the corners and just hits it off the side. It's like, okay, that's fine, but there's still some chances. And then West Ham, last minute, screamer, amazing, ties it up. And it's just, you look back and it's like, what just happened? Again, it's another learning lesson for Tottenham. It's something that I feel like they should already know. Like, you have to focus until the game. And it's not just about focusing, but it's actually trying to score more and control the game fully. It's incredible because it's Mourinho, right? The old Mourinho would be able to close up any game. He's winning 1-0 and that was game done. Like, that's how good he was. To show the change to this team, just wow. Because of the mistakes and the lack of inconsistency right there, I'm going to be ranking Tottenham 5th this week. Alright, and that was Top Team Watch for this week. Click the like button if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and thanks for watching.